Hello, welcome to another train simulator stream. This is actually pretty much part of the previous one. I'm just separating these because they're two separate routes. We're going to be playing with some PRR Sharknoses. We're doing some switching because apparently they only have switching scenarios. If I had been more prepared for this, I could have maybe made my own scenario with them where we're taking a train across mainline, but I did not do this. And I also didn't check the Steam Workshop or anything like that, so we're just going to play one of the standard scenarios, well, the career scenarios that come with the DLC for the Horseshoe Curve route. So, chat. Minus the T, yes. That would be great, but an inside joke, nod. Look, Flume. Sign me up. If I ever have another free streaming slot, I'd love to also stream game development on Project Rockup, if I knew what to do and how to do it. If I had written some character dialogue that's not recorded yet, I may even do some on-stream voice acting recording, maybe. I did already record a fair bit of the game, but still. If you want my Ubu voice for anything, I am K. I am K? Imk, sure. Yes, Fabian's really quite British. Oh, we'll keep that in mind. I charge 15 bands per syllable. Wait, you'd charge? Well, maybe someday. Take care, of course. Hey, yeah, you're kidding with the... Yeah, you get the full... Oh, whoa. Oh, whoa. Excited to hear Sharknose say ooh. Well, there you go. You've heard me say it. Good evening, couple wagons at South Fork Yard 7. Okay, that's a... Okay. If the game's too loud, please... let me know. It might be a little bit too loud. When my game's a bit more than just a mostly visual alpha thing, I may reach out to other individuals for their voices. That sounds horrific. Let me know. Alright. Yes. Oh, whoa. Yes. Woo-wee. Haha. So is this a bit too loud? Might be a little loud. Yes, this DLC isn't the newest. It's not exactly the highest quality either because of that, but it is quite nice. So I'll just take a little screenshot like that, because then I won't forget, hopefully. Although maybe it could be more interesting if I did it, if I took a screenshot somewhat like that, maybe? A little bit loud? Shut your exhaust, yeah, Sharknose, Sonzo. Okay, I'll turn it down a little bit on here. Actually, I'll leave that. Yeah, I'll turn this down slightly. Well, that's not ideal. No, I'm gonna turn it down on here. That should be better. I hope that OBS setting was still correct. So where do we need to go? Okay, basically just reverse. Put a couple to these cars here, which are on that track, which means this needs to be switched like that. That's better. Good. Okay, so put that in reverse, and you can see how the actual handles do move in here. Quite spacious. Okay, so I shall turn on this side. Let's reverse. By the way, what looks like those big handles on top of the locomotive running along there, those are actually radio antenna. So, because these locomotives are from, I think, the 50s? I think? 40s or 50s? Something around there, I think. Might be wrong with these specific ones, but it's from that sort of era where industrial uses for radio technology and that sort of stuff was still very much new. And so you had these antenna on the locomotives and also on the caboose, and you had beside the railway, you had what you usually had wires running along the railway, where a train could use these antennae to wirelessly communicate with the wire, which would send the signal along beside the track, and then it would be picked up by either another train that's up ahead or behind or by a caboose. And so for the first time, aside from just shouting out the window, the crews of trains could actually communicate with each other even if they're a bit further away. So yeah, those are actually antennae, not handrails. Also, this route is really quite an old route, which is why there isn't that much actual terrain detail on here. It'd be so nice if... well, I was about to say, it would be so nice if they updated some of the older routes, but then it might not actually run in the virtual machine anymore if they did that. So, actually, no, I'm quite happy with the way that it is. Oh, although, is this a manually lapped brake, or is it... No, it looks like this is an automatically lapped brake. Is it? Actually, I'm not entirely sure. Hold on, where is the brake pressure gauge? In here, somewhere. Okay, so if I just turn this on to... Yeah, the one... Okay, so that goes up to that, and there we go. Okay, so no, that is... Oh, that's interesting. So, if I apply the brake pressure, then it does go in specific steps, like with manually lapped brakes. But to actually release the brake pressure, I've got to actually reduce the brake pressure, I've actually completely got to release the brakes. That's very interesting. So I can't just ease off the brakes a little bit, I've got to release the brake pressure and then build the pressure up again to that value. Also, did I do a stream on the Sharknose before at some point? I don't remember. Good, now go for the wagons, yeah, track 5. Which is... Ooh, actually no, I've just got to go forward to that track. Okay, this is very hand-holdy. I'll reach out in a moment, don't worry. Okay, so we've got a speed limit of 15 miles per hour here. Just gotta be careful not, when I brake, to not actually accidentally put it into emergency, because that will detract points, and I don't want to speed either. Also, look, we've got PRR position light signals. Isn't that nice? Don't worry, that signal wasn't for our track. They can seem a bit confusing at first, until you realize that a horizontal line is the same as red, a diagonal line is the same as yellow, and a vertical line is the same as green. And then you can read them as if you were reading any other US signal, pretty much. Ooh, that's an interesting shadow there of our locomotive. Although, I can actually open the window. That's nice. Ooh, also we need to stop here. And stopped, pretty much. Right, chat reading time. Horrific. A little bit. Shant Yarek sauce. Right, I already read that. Yeah, so far, all the dialogue I've written for Project Frog has also been recorded by me. Yes, that's Fabian's, Madeline's, and Fred's. Some of it may be placeholder. No, that's for holding onto when your friend loses her ticket and you rush out the train to catch it in the snow before it blows away forever and you bump into a bloke on the roof with a campfire. Yeah. Santa, is that you? Santa Fe all the way. Is that the Santa you were talking about, I'm assuming? But yeah, I do get the reference. Even though when I first saw that film, I was like, are they really, like, are you really gonna, like, with a ticket, is that really gonna work like that? Like, surely this, and then they go through to all this life-threatening trouble to get the ticket back, and then it's like, no, of course, you didn't have to do that. Like, yeah, well, that's what I thought. Well, the first time I watched that film, I went into it from a train enthusiast's point of view, and then being able to steer the locomotive on ice using the in-cab controls, and it bending around the mountain and lots of stuff. Yeah, that was even worse. Well, logic-wise, that was even worse than having a cat on an airplane seat next to you. Only a couple of people will get that reference, but no. Yeah. But yeah, I did go into it from a train enthusiast point of view. I was like, oh, that's a steam locomotive. I know exactly how that works on the, like, the inner mechanic. I know exactly what that lever does. I know what that lever does. And then, yeah. I did have fun watching the film, though. Even though, to be honest, I didn't find the story that gripping. Although I did only watch it a couple of years ago, so I didn't watch it as a child. I watched it as an adult, and so maybe I would have a different opinion of it if I had watched it at a younger age. Even though, even at a younger age, I was pretty analytical when it comes to films. They should have had those, Emichu. But yeah. Emichu, you remember that scene in the Polar Express where the train goes up the side of a mountain in spiral? Shadow's Express, inspo. Inspo? What do you mean inspo? Inspired? Wait. We're on... Hold on a minute. Did I forget to actually switch the switch? I think I forgot to actually switch the switch. Hold on a minute. Yeah, I forgot to actually switch the switch. That's not ideal. I think I made the same mistake when the first time I tried the session when I first got the DLC of the locomotive. Inspo, what does that mean? Shadow's Express inspo, inspired, or what do you mean? The entire train actually bends with the tracks like a snake. Yeah, I did catch that too. Single release brakes were pretty common at that time, at least here in Germany. No idea about the US though. Yeah, I mean, it is something to get used to when you're not used to driving with them. But apparently they were also used over here. Well, I say over here in-game, not over here IRL. Hey, that's, well, when I was younger, I thought the Polar Express was live action. The CGI holds up to this day. I thought. Yeah, I mean... I think... Hold on. Yeah, because it's that... I thought that I switched switches. Oh, I probably just switched the switch to get onto this track, but I didn't switch the switch on the other siding. That would explain it. Yeah, I think with the CGI, I think a lot of it is quite uncanny. Like especially the faces and the facial the facial animations when they're talking and that sort of thing. Because of how it was made, where they basically took live action and then converted that into animation for the CGI models. If you look at it closely, I do think that it feels a bit creepy, a bit uncanny. Although I do think that a lot of the other CGI looks very good in it. Like the train is rendered beautifully and a lot of the environments as well. It's just the animations that are like the people facial animations are maybe a little bit yeah, for me at least. Yeah, a lot of it is really, really good. Don't ask questions, just go with the flow. Yeah, you cat. The human models aren't perfect, but the locomotive's model alone and how it's all rigged and animated, especially on the ice lake scene, was really impressive. Oh yes, definitely. Definitely. Only saw it for the first time in 2018, I believe. Also, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, this train goes to the North Pole. I thought, oh, okay, so they're gonna be on this train for at least a couple of days. Turns out it was pretty much just the one night thing to get there and back, wasn't it? Although when the train arrived, did it... So here's the thing, when the train first arrived, running along the street, were there actually tracks on the street? Like, was it actually a bit of street running that the train just arrived on? Or was the train actually going on the road? Now go for wagons. Okay, track 4. Oh, yes, look, wipers, because this has actual rain particles on the windscreen, which distort the view. Even though technically it's snowing, not raining, but oh well. Only saw it, yes, for the first time in 2018, I believe. Inspired your Minecraft railway around that mountain. Ah, right, yeah, I remember now, where it goes around the... yeah. Oh, I'll get it now. Cat. Trying to summon blue, are we? May as well try to. Summon Albastro, number 6. Yeah, it never turned day, did it? I don't think so. If I remember correctly, the rails appeared specifically for the train. Not sure though. Well, if the train has that power, why not just make tracks appear on the ice instead of having to crash through the ice? But yeah, I can definitely see how that film holds a lot of nostalgic memories, a lot of fondness in people's hearts, especially if they've seen it at a younger age. Not for me personally, because like I said, I only saw it for the first time a couple of years ago, and I went to it with other expectations and with a different point of view that the filmmakers didn't intend people to go into it with. Okay, so which track are we gonna go on, by the way? Oh, we've got to stop up here again and then go back down. Oh, there's a train up there. Hold on. Oh, it's a passenger one. Is that an F7 pulling that? Oh, it is. F7 A and B units. Nice. Because it would make the movie boring, I guess. True. And brakes. But yeah, I mean, another film that I saw kind of semi-recently, this was years ago, but still, is Unstoppable. Have any of you seen that film? But yeah, slight audio spoilers for Project Frog Hop. Oh yeah, we're really late. If I don't decide to change stuff. Connie Fabian's got quite a posh British voice, which I think a little in the direction of Stolas. Madeline's, I've tried to do American slightly accent, but can spontaneously switch to being British, and Fred's got a bit of a deeper British voice. Not specifically Yorkshire or something, but something like that. Maybe. Not too great at specific regional accents. Yes. Watched it, Polar Express, Christmas 2022. First saw it when I was 5. Yeah. Unstoppable? Yeah, once, 2018. Yeah, because the Unstoppable film is based on a real event where a CSX locomotive was basically a runaway. And yeah, CSX 8888 incident. Yeah, so it's based on a real story where there was a runaway CSX train that nearly caused a huge disaster. And so they decided to make a film based on that. And that story, in and of itself, has so much action and so much tension and so much... There's so much there for an action film. And if they just stayed with that, the film could have been brilliant. But the filmmakers apparently decided that a crazy runaway train nearly causing huge disasters and heroes trying to stop it in all sorts of different ways wasn't exciting enough, so they decided to shoehorn in a made-up kind of love story with the main protagonist and his wife, where they're kind of, I think, getting a divorce or something like that, and the film periodically cuts away and has to deal with that. And then we get back to the train action, and then, okay, divorce stuff and love story, and then, okay, back to the train. Because apparently they didn't think that action train stuff was good enough for people who go to watch an action train film. Okay, we need to pick up a caboose. Also, the film, oddly, was really green-tinted, like everything about it, which I just found really distracting. But, yeah. Although, the actual train bits, I thought were really well done. It's just the stuff that they decided to shoehorn in around it that kind of detracted from the film a bit. They did fictionalize it, but still. Yeah, true. Yeah, and please no green action filter. Like Burnout Paradise, yeah. Actually, that's okay, so now it's just telling us to go couple to the caboose. Even though previously it specifically told us, okay, now you've got to go forward onto this track, now I've got to go back. Now I've got to go forward onto this track, now I've got to go back. And now it's just like, well, yeah, just couple to this thing on that track, you can figure out how to get there yourself. Okay, so I've got to go past this switch, and this train is now fairly long, so I think I should probably apply brakes now. Actually, no, that stopped really fast. Oh, right, of course, because these are train brakes, not just locomotive brakes. Sorry. Yeah, of course, because the brakes apply brakes on all the different cars, not just on the locomotive. That should be far enough. Switch that. Yes. Now we just need to pick up our caboose. Sander. Even though we've lost so many points due to being late, that doesn't really matter at this point if we wheel slip or not. Odd that we can hear the locomotive engine sounds, but not the horn from this distance. Emichu, did you know the real locomotive the Pole Express one was based on still exists today? Pierre Maquette, 1225. Mm-hmm. And it operates Christmas tours in the US. Of course it does. Doesn't actually go to the North Pole though, right? Maybe also others? Not certain. Also look, they specifically decided to already separate a caboose for us, so that we can't possibly mess things up by taking more than one caboose. Yeah, it has hauled double-deck passenger wagons before. Oh, you mean like the Amtrak ones, or like the other ones, the Bombardier ones? Oh right, yeah, I forgot about having to release the brakes completely too. There we go, we've got the caboose. Right, now we've just got to set the switches to the Y, and then we've got to, okay, apply brakes. Build 1941, the loco. Okay, so where are we gonna go? Go via that, and then go via that, and then go to here. Couldn't they have just said, okay, stop here? Yeah, I think that if I really want to have fun with this locomotive, I think that I do need to make sessions myself. Hold on, did they actually model? Ooh, look, they actually modeled a little bit of space back there. That's interesting. Also, I think the snow stopped. Yeah. Right. Now we just gotta switch that switch and away we go. Yes. Don't know why it wasn't responding there, maybe because it was holding right click. Yeah, if this were a modern map, they would probably put a bit more effort into placing the houses this close to the tracks. But then again, this is a really, really old map, like from 2012 or something like that, I think. Or maybe even earlier, I don't know. I think 2012 or something. Whoa, bit quiet now, maybe? I don't know, I've not changed anything about the volume. There you go, I think that's probably better then. Yeah, from outside it's of course louder, and from inside it's a little bit quieter. Although, I suppose that back there was just a yard that you're not really meant to go in. Now that we're over by the main line, you can see they did actually put more bushes and a little bit more detail and stuff like that around. Also, we can accelerate up to 15 miles per hour. Although the slack is going to maybe make it a bit interesting. Well, if it went too quiet when I turned it down, you could have said turn it up by 10% or something. Do you believe Emmett is left? Well, good night. Yeah, that's fine. I'm sure Emmett will definitely watch the archive and then realize that we have had this conversation. Because Emmett watches all of our archives, yes? Especially all of the Billion Little Valley Railroad ones. I would be genuinely very surprised if Emmett did that. Also, don't mind the fact that we don't have shadows coming in through the... Yeah, it's fine, don't worry. I wasn't certain. And on the outside view, it was acceptable. Okay, we've gone past midnight. And I do think I just need to stop on that track and then we'll be done. And okay, the next signal is danger aspect. So we do not want to overshoot that. I'll just quick save. And brakes. But yeah, like, I mean, I do really like this locomotive, and I really like its design as well, and I love having this in-train simulator and being able to drive it in this game. But it does feel as though the people who made this DLC only added those 3 scenarios because they had to make scenarios for it, not because they actually wanted to. Although, I suppose maybe it's also partly the map. Although, yeah, well, I don't know the exact layout of the map and what sort of opportunities there are. Actually, hold on. Try that. Might be a good thumbnail-ish. I know I've already got one image, but something like that might be better. Yeah, I think that last one's gonna be good. Oh? Yeah, because... I don't know. I mean, this scenario... It was a switching scenario, but there wasn't really any... I don't know. There wasn't really any difficulty in it, aside from doing it quickly. Because it was basically just go forward, back, go forward, back, go forward, back, go forward, back, go forward, stop. So, I mean, I don't know what the layout is of the horseshoe curve and if there's any more trackage that might make things more interesting. But getting some stuff, then putting on a siding, coming around, maybe collecting some other stuff, coming back, and then, like, for example, the last scenario we played, that had quite a bit of switching, and that was so much more interesting, with taking some cars here, getting them on those track, then decoupling, then going back, getting some more from that other track, and then coupling those to the other location. And there was only really one AI train there anyway, and that was well, I suppose I was late, so I didn't really see it that well, but I don't know. I think, although that was only one of the 3 scenarios, but the fact that there are only 3 scenarios for this locomotive does kind of make it feel to me like they didn't really want to make scenarios. Plus, of course, the very bare bones messages as well, because it was literally just like, good morning, go to this trek, couple there. And then, good, go to this trek, couple here. Go to this trek, couple here. Go via that. And so... And it also was very hand-holdy, where it went, okay, you've got to go forward, stop on this track, then go back and couple up to this. It didn't even allow you to try to figure that out yourself, even though you can really only do one thing with that. But I do really like the locomotive itself. It's just, if I really want to get some good gameplay out of it, I think that I have to make sessions myself, or convince someone else to make sessions for me. This one looks great. Not got it myself. Oh, is that the centipede? Oh yeah, the centipede. Still 9 quid, 50% off, yeah. Isn't it always mostly 3 scenarios for locomotives? Well, I mean... You mean like a locomotive DLC specifically? Well, what would be a good one? Well, let's have a look at the cab forward. Well, 4 scenarios. Okay, well that's... Although that's got road scenarios, like it goes over the main line. Would be another one to check. I don't know which ones are from maps and which ones are separate DLCs. Okay, well, let's have a look at this one, class 42. Oh, well, that's only got one. Not a great example then for one that has many. I suppose, yeah, maybe they do only have very few if they're from a separate DLC. I won't drag this out too long because I know we've gone past midnight already. Ah, okay. The P2 Blue Peter. Let's have a look at that. Okay, 1. Although, does that have standard scenarios? It might have standard scenarios. Bullied Light Pacific, 3. Yeah, I guess you're right. I'm probably just thinking... Yeah, because the trains that I normally drive are trains that come with routes, I suppose. And so... Because normally I drive by route. Like, I'd go here, and then I don't know... I'd go to some route, I don't know, just select a random one. That one, sure. Inselbahn, Stralsund to Sassnitz. And then I'd have a look and go through this and then just select one of those. But yeah, I mean, if you look at this, yeah, it's only very few scenarios per locomotive. I never really realized that, I suppose. That is actually quite interesting. Anyway, I should probably read chat. Ah, well, this one, look, the GT3, that one's got 5, so a couple more on that one. We did find one with more than 3 or 4. Anyway, so... Time to reach out. By the way, this is Kango's background image because I'm still on Kango's computer. So, where was I? Maybe the dispatcher was a robot? Huh. I mean, what if it's the first scenario you ever played in any train simulator? Well, I mean, the first real kind of scenario, I guess I did play a little bit in trains, but not seriously. Well, I don't know. I don't want to get into that, we're already too late. Hand-holding does have its benefits sometimes, but there is a limit. Yeah. I would love to whip up some sessions for you, but I only have mostly German content. Yeah. Thanks, but that makes sense. The only thing is with a fair few of the German routes, they tend to, because I'm running this on a virtual machine, because as you can tell, this is a Mac, and Train Simulator is only available for Windows. And so some routes have severe graphical glitches where certain assets, like the shaders break, and it, like, when the asset's displayed, it like stretches the faces like hundreds of miles long, and it's just a huge gray black faces that are just in the world, like actual mesh faces. I mean, not real faces, but mesh faces. And some of those routes have a few of those assets that graphically break like that, and unfortunately quite a few of the German routes have those issues. Not all of them. I have some German routes that work perfectly fine, but to be honest, scenery-wise, most German routes that I have, the scenery isn't that exciting. It's quite realistic, but it tends to get a bit repetitive, I think. Not all of them. There are some really interesting ones as well, but anyway, don't really have time to get into that. If Train Simulator were still running, then I would show you a couple that I for the different examples of what I just said, but yeah. It's A2 Blue Peter, not P2. Alright, so yeah. The class 42, there's only one DLC because it's a pack. Alright, yeah. Type K700. Map's called Landslide, by the way. Oh, right, this, yes. Quite a harsh one. Easy to tip yourself over. Yeah. Bog yourself down. Nürnberg-Regensburg works, doesn't it? Yeah. Nürnberg-Regensburg works. And the Inselbahn one works as well. And some of the ICE ones work too. As well as the old Steam one, the Wutachtalbahn, I think. And maybe a couple more. I don't know exactly. Like I said, I don't usually play German routes that much. Nürnberg may have some issues, but I think that was just lag. Yeah, not certain anymore. Wutachtalbahn is really quite nice too. With British Railways 86 steamer. Very nice. Yes, it was a joke, the British Railways. Anyway, thank you all very much for watching. And thank you for coming to live stream. It was lovely having you. This will be archived on YouTube. And see you soon. So, bye-bye.